Merry Christmas. Welcome back into the den. Christmas morning. Hopefully you've had a chance to get away from the in-laws or maybe just sit down, relax after watching the kids open up their Christmas gifts and spend a couple of moments with Tobin. I am Tobin in the den for my morning after the holiday shave spectacular 2024. I came down with that sinus bug and it kind of threw my plans off a little bit. Busy with work, busy with the holiday, so I didn't get to quite do this as I'd hoped. Let's run through 7, 8, 9, and 10 real quick. I haven't opened up day 11 or 12. We're going to do that here in a moment, but I've already gone through 1 through 6. I got 1 through 10 up here behind me, beginning with Blue Moon Bay Rum and ending with the most recent one that I've opened, which is Grapefruit, Coconut, Vanilla. Day number 7, Organism 46B. This went away just a couple of years ago. I had a couple different samples of it. And to be honest, it was a fragrance that I always loved the artwork of. It really appealed to me, but the fragrance itself really isn't for me. I'll put up here the write-ups that come with each of these days. Take a moment though. Let's talk about Day 8, ATG, Against the Grain is what that stands for. This is a Western barbershop, a soap that I missed out on. But what I do still have is the ATG pre-shave. Before the cube, if you're familiar with Phoenix Artisan today, you know the cube. I have the cube and I just counted 7 different varieties. This is what you might call the regular or the original. It's just unscented, black, not mentholated. 7 different ones I have, plus I also have the travel ones. So I'm a huge fan of pre-shaves and have been for years. One of the original pre-shaves that PAA did was the scentless in a tin. Both of these originally came in tins as well, but then they went into the plastic tubs. And so you have the ATG and then the mentholated ice. This ATG puck smells almost identical to, oh gosh, so good, to the Western barbershop that is the ATG Soap and Splash that's in this year's Advent. I would love to see this one come back. I love the artwork that PAA went with on this one. You kind of got the old man in a cowboy's outfit, kind of looks like Santa in the Wild Wild West. It's a fantastic fragrance. At the end of this, after we open up 11 and 12, I'll take a moment, stop the camera, spend a few minutes with those last 2 fragrances, and then come back and share with you guys my top 3 or something like that. Anyways, I absolutely love day 8. That is Against the Grain. Sells the write-up. What does Douglas call? What are we calling those things? Anywho, ATG is absolutely fantastic. Day number 9 or 7, 8, 9. How you doing? Big apps. This is from a meetup, if I recall correctly from reading the thing that comes in the Advent calendar. If you like Apple, you're going to love this one. This one kind of comes into the category for me, like the wearability of it. The dry down is very nice. When you first put it on, you get a bright, crisp, tangy, Granny Smith kind of crisp apple. It's still drying down on my hand. And as it dries down, you still have that apple, but it does become more wearable than what it originally was. I think this would be one of those fragrances that are great for around the house, but actually, wearing out to date night or church or work is a little questionable. So that's day 9, big apps. This one here, day 10, which is just simply called Grapefruit, Coconut, and Vanilla, is absolutely fantastic. This is one of those places that I can really get wrapped up in the magic of fragrances, because while you can pick out each distinct note, my wife and I were playing with this fragrance earlier. It's really cool because even she can pick out each different note. The grapefruit, it smells so real that it's there, especially right when you put it on. That one is drying down right here. But then as it dries down, they kind of start to meld together. This has been on the back of my hand now for a couple of hours. And now it's like you get this just ensemble of all three together, as to where during those first 10 to 20 minutes, you can actually pick out each individual note. You can pick out the grapefruit and the coconut and the vanilla. Like you can actually like see them, like they're there. You can think, oh, there's the grapefruit, and then you're like, that's the vanilla, and then blam, coconut, right? But then as it dries down, they kind of just, you know, weave together into this own unique fragrance. I love the artwork on this one. It is just so cool. It's simplistic but cool. It's the cube with the Santa hat and a couple slices of grapefruit. It's epic. It's simplistic but epic, which if you read that sales page, it's just even more fitting. Getting into what I haven't opened yet. I have no idea what they are. I've avoided YouTube for almost 2 weeks now, being very careful what I look at and what I watch. And for the guys who, Barry, Mike, and Matt, for not putting spoilers on your thumbnails, thank you. I don't think I actually reached out to you guys and thanked you. But I did see that they were putting up their videos, but thankfully I would see their thumbnail. I'm like, oh, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. So thankfully, none of it was ever ruined. So here we are on day 11. I'll take a picture when I'm done recording right up here, and I'll put the thing that comes in the Advent, the sales page, the write-up. All right, day 11. Can't wait. This would be your, oh, what the heck is that? It looks like Albert Einstein. Let's get the papers have been kind of tricky to get out, so I've been using my birchwood scooper that Wendell Pap Shave sent me a year or two ago now, a couple years ago, to get these out without hurting them. Set that down. Day 11, Whistling Dixie. That sounds familiar. I have the old Dixie set. Maybe that's why that sounds familiar. Ghost of Christmas, Future and Past. Okay, so maybe this is like we're going to get a little bit of that Dixie. Dixie originally was a collaboration between Soap Commander, Carrie Siebert, and Douglas and Fran at Phoenix Artisan. Now, I believe that was for the Dirty South Wet Shavers meetup or something like that. Don't quote me, it was something like that. That's a great fragrance. So Whistling Dixie, a retweaked Southern classic with a sci-fi twist. So I know he's had a lot of requests to bring Dixie back. The scent notes: bergamot, bright citrus, tea leaves, bay leaves, jasmine, beeswax. That's interesting. Beeswax Absolute, warm amber, animalic musk, tobacco absolute, same Southern spirit, epic new scent. Originally created in 2016 as Dixie for the Dirty South Shavers meetup in Huntsville, Alabama. The scent has a backstory as rich and as bold as the South itself. Created to capture the region's unique spirit, warm, sweet, and complex, this was no ordinary Southern potpourri. It was deep floral epic, and a perfect match for the early days of the shave renaissance. Folks loved it. Inspired by the magnolias, kudzu, and Spanish moss of the southern landscape, Dixie was also a nod to Huntsville's connection to space exploration, blending deep-rooted tradition with a hint of otherworldly. Now, in Shaved Dome 2024, we've revisited and reimagined this blend to give you Whistling Dixie, a scent that honors the past version while keeping one eye on the stars. Crafted for those who value tradition but aren't afraid to dream big and embrace change. Amen, brother. A quote from Mark Twain: Southerners are the only people I know who can make gossip sound like poetry. Another well done write-up. All right, so we have Mark Twain. When I first saw it, it looked like Albert Einstein, but it's got to be Mark Twain. What was his real name? Mark Twain was just his pen name, right? Is what you call it. So this looks nothing like my Dixie soap. If I remember, I'll grab it and put a picture up there. I'll grab one off the internet. I'm excited to try this. I don't have anything up here. I'm going to put it up there, and while it dries down, well, I'll get a little whiff of the soap. While it settles for a second, the alcohol, I'll start opening up 12 and come back to it. I really like the artwork on this one too, Douglas. Yeah, buddy. Oh, gosh. Nice. Mossy, tobacco. That's a beautiful masculine fragrance right there. All right. My birchwood scoop. Thank you again, Wendell, for that. It's one of my absolute favorite scoops. Put that in my pocket right there. Day 12. Merry Christmas. I want to again say thank you to Douglas and Fran. I did not pay for this year's Advent calendar. It was sent to me for review. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I'm not a southerner, but I am a little bit of a redneck. What is that? T-O-M-E? How do you pronounce that word? Christmas tome? Tome? A holiday experiment. Ghost of Christmas future. Step into a timeless warmth of Christmas tome. While I wrap my head around that word, let's smell Whistling Dixie. Damn, son. Okay, so I'm going to have to review Dixie, the old one, and maybe review this at the same time. Oh, damn. To be honest, it's probably been 6 months or a year or more since I've used that set. It's similar. Oh, that's beautiful. Like I said, at the end of this, I'll share with you, guys, at least my top 3. All right, so Christmas tome. Let me pause it real quick, see what Alexis thinks. We're going with it. The boss says tome too. I went and asked my wife. Let's read the sales page right after I apply it to the back of my hand here. It looks like a library, a floating cube, kind of like it's in a cathedral. It also says beneath it, High Strangeness Holiday Soap. I'm intrigued by the label, the artwork. This one on the left. You gotta be careful with these little bottles. They will pour out on you. I got more than I wanted. That's all right. All right. Well, that settles for a second. Step into the timeless warmth of Christmas tome, where the scent of an ornate woodworked library meets the festive spirit of the season. Rich notes of teakwood, cedar, and leather blend seamlessly with the soft, earthy tones of sandalwood and dark musk, creating an atmosphere of quiet sophistication, hints of patchouli, and add depth, while fir and pine needles evoke the crisp green fragrance of Christmas evergreens. It's a scent that wraps you in the cozy, nostalgic charm of a holiday evening spent among books and evergreen boughs. A perfect addition to your festive grooming time in the shave den. This one is an experimental blend, so we are curious to hear what you think, shave cadets. And then the quote at the bottom, something about an armchair, a warm fire, and a good book turns the holidays into magic. My wife would agree with that. I am not a reader. Tome, as you can tell. Okay. Very dark, but the pine is also bringing a brightness to it. Taking what would be a very dark fragrance and livening it up. I like that, Douglas. First impression, that's good stuff, Maynard. After smelling that in between my stuffy nose, I can't really smell anything off the soap. Can't wait to whip that up and get a good feel for it. I'm going to go ask the wife what she thinks of the fragrance. Before I do that, I want to thank everyone for being a part of my channel. Even if you only watched one video during 2024, this has just been an amazing year for me and my family. It truly has. And for the channel, I've had a ton of fun doing it. I want to thank you guys by, I'm paying for this. I tried to do it during my live with Doug and Fran. They interceded and gave away gift cards on my behalf. But I still want to give away gift cards, and I want to thank you guys for being a part of my channel. To enter the giveaway, I'm going to do 2 $20 gift cards, so a total of 40, 2 $20 gift cards, 2 Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. In the comments below, whether you have the advent calendar or not, maybe you've seen other people's content. Let me know what fragrance from this year's advent are you most interested in seeing come to life, come to a full set. Your top 3 would be awesome if you have a top 3, especially if you have the advent, or even if you don't have the advent and there's a 3 that really piques your interest. I would love to hear about that in the comments. So in the comments below, 1 or more of your fragrances from this year's advent that you'd like to see become a full set, and I will draw that in the next couple of days and announce the winner in my next video, which should be either a razor review video, I want to do another one of those, or an outdoor shave this weekend. All right, see you in a minute. I'm going to figure out what is my at least top 3. I want to get this dialed in. I'm going to go ask the wife's opinion, though, of Whistling Dixie and Christmas Tome. I'm going to look up that word while I'm gone, too. I was hoping it would have been in the write-up. All right. So a testament to just how bad my nose is right now, both girls say that these soaps both have a strong fragrance to it and that they are very representative of the splashes. I'm still having a hard time breathing, and after talking or smelling, my sniffer ain't sniffing, not the way that I want it to. But after talking with both of them, the soaps do have a good scent strength to them, and both are representative of the fragrances. I got a top 5 for you. Oh, and both Alexis and Emily really like Whistling Dixie and Christmas Tome. In fact, Emily said that Christmas Tome is her favorite. I didn't get a favorite out of Alexis. So my top 5. Christmas Tome. I didn't look up that word. Whistling Dixie. Snowballer. I love Snowballer. ATG, Against the Grain. Last but not least, Deja Fougere. Don't forget to enter that giveaway. I know for you, I just talked about it a moment ago, but for me, it was like 20 minutes ago. Damn sniffles. I literally just blew my nose before I came back to the camera. I promise I did. And already I'm having trouble again. I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I want to again thank Doug and Fran for all their support of my channel by sending me product this past year. I want to thank you for watching, commenting, liking. I want to thank you for your friendship. I've become friends with so many of you guys since I started doing this. People that I never would have met otherwise, I've met through this channel. And that is one of the coolest things about this, is that you get that true sense of community, getting to know one another. And what's really cool too is when I get to hear some of your voices and like we talk back and forth. It's awesome. And truly for me, that's one of the little big things of doing this, is the brotherhood, the camaraderie, you guys get me because you guys are part of the community too, as to where so many people, when we tell them, about our hobby, they look at us like we're from Mars, and they're like, you do what? You're into what? You collect what? And I think that's the way it is with like all collecting. I was actually listening to the radio, at work the other day, and there was these guys that they collect meteorites, right? They actually go around searching for meteorites, and I learned that here in the state of Oregon, only 6 meteorites have actually been found. And that's part of the reason is because of all the trees in the west and then all the rocks in the east. And like one of the great places to find them is in Kansas, because there's like no rocks and no trees. And so, yeah, people collect meteorites. And like, it doesn't matter what you collect. To outsiders, it's weird, right? But if you're still watching, I have a feeling that you get me. And that's a little big thing, but sharing that. Happy New Year, my friends. I'm going to continue to ramble because once again, you're not stopping me. I'll see you very soon, and take care.